To be fair
But-
though, the what I did not enjoy about Oppenheimer is pretty much the only thing I didn't enjoy about Oppenheimer is the fact that
Nuke was lame.
the nuke was fucking lame. Like they could have
Mm.
fucking CGI'd a little bit of that
Yeah.
to make it
yeah.
a bit more nukey rather than just look
Or
like a
use-
goddamn gasoline explosion.
I legitimately got a bit pissed because they didn't use. I think they actually had real world footage now of that test.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so. Well, I don't know of that one.
But still,
The
like
thing is,
any-
you could have
any-
made it. You could have made it more impactful if you had just gone and used a little bit of CGI. Chicken, shotgun, chicken. Today's topic of discussion is films and movies. We're gonna talk about a little bit, compare
Oh.
what it was like back in the day versus what it is like now.
Nowadays they get away with in
Uh,
different ways about
yeah.
different things.
The
I
wor-
think.
like
the
that
worst-
bastard that ran away to Romania. Did he run away to Romania? The director of The Pianist,
I
What,
don't
Roman
remember.
Polanski?
I don't-
Was it Polanski?
Roman Polanski?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that. I don't.
Yeah.
That's interesting, but yeah, no. We're going to this. I mean, yeah,
When
not talk about the controversies necessarily.
When
maybe
humans
that
were
much,
humans.
because we like to stay monetized. Everybody.
Mhm. So
Yeah, let's start with Hollywood in general. I have a little bit of trivia prepared over here.
what is Hollywood?
What is Hollywood? How did it
What-
start?
what is?
And how did we get to
but
the point where
why
we're
is it
at
called
right
Hollywood?
now?
Yeah, like why is it Hollywood?
Hollywood is just kind
It's
of
like
the
wood.
area. It's like it's just Hollywood became known as Hollywood because the district of the city that they're in was called
Was
Hollywood.
it holy?
No, I think it's because some director got wood in Holly.
You gotta get some wood and holly, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just the way things go.
Fucking Hollywood.
Actually, I'm not 100% sure as to where the name came from, but I suspect it is because the area is called Hollywood, and then because all the film studios, because land back in the day there was cheap, so they just kind of built the studios there, and it became.
I'm sure the Native
Hollywood
Americans
is.
didn't call it Hollywood at first.
Yeah, probably not.
probably-
it was
they-
probably called something else.
They probably called it this. Right.
Man, the Hollywood, man, like the golden age of Hollywood.
What about the
was
Silver Age?
between?
The Bronze
I mean,
Age.
like, I don't think that really exists. Like, I mean, Hollywood came to be like in the very early start of the what 1900s,
yeah.
and they pretty much went straight to the golden age. I would say, like, because the golden age, like officially the golden age of Hollywood is kind of it's between 1915 and 1960, because that is when like that is when they became big. That was
Wasn't that like 2 months
everybody.
ago?
What the fuck are you? What the fuck are you on about? Shit.
He lived through time,
But
brother.
I am. I'm immortal. You're the immoral.
I'm the immoral, you're the immortal.
Immoral Joe.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
actually,
I mean, it started with the silent era. Did you guys watch any silent films like from back
Yeah.
in the day? Like,
Yeah.
there's a couple of good ones.
They had-
Yeah,
they
I
had
watched
actual-
them. Sorry.
they had actual live music, right? Like playing in the background.
Yeah. They had
Yes.
like you'd watch the film and the film would be completely
Yeah.
silent, and then you just have some dude on a piano that like plays.
But there was also isn't that like they call it the pictures because it was a moving picture. There wasn't even I think the word film. I think let's go to the pictures was like let's go to the
Yeah,
movies.
exactly.
It was
Even
moving
that's
picture.
still terminology that you use today. Like
Mm.
you'd say that something's a good picture,
Yeah.
but it's obviously
Well,
referring to the
as well
film.
because sometimes like a movie might have like a great visuals, but maybe not great score or sound design. So that's why they, for example, awarded best moving picture.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
moving picture has been there from the very beginning. I mean, since the invention of film, it's been known as a moving picture. But I think the whole Hollywood as a movement started probably with the film with the
Wait, we went from place to movement. It's now a
as in
movement.
It's a
Hollywood.
movement. It's a movement, huh?
The fact
moving
that
picture.
He's got the Don Fry look, man. He's gonna arrest
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
No, we can just talk shit if you guys want. We don't have to like follow anything that African.
No, I
here.
wanted to be like about this, but like we're just fucking around a bit with you because
Yeah.
you're like over there with your cowboy hat. Yeah, Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood. No, all right, let's just talk shit.
No, this is his excuse for not being prepared. That's it. He's
I-
just,
I-
he's
I
just
mean,
taking
I-
advantage.
I
You
have-
fucking piece of shit.
I have
You had
some
a
degree
week.
of preparation, but what's the best movie that you have recently watched?
Recently,
Yeah,
I think the Promised Land.
Same. I recommended
The
him.
Promised Land.
It's
Yeah,
with Mads
he
Mikkelsen.
recommended
Mikkelsen.
it to me, and then I watched it. I was like, yeah, that's a fucking
What's it
good
about?
movie.
You can.
No, it's better if you explain because you've like even researched more about it.
Yeah, such a good movie. Basically, I think it's about like not I wouldn't say medieval ages. I'd say 1800s, 1900s. It's like basically I think before World War One, if I'm not mistaken. It's when the Dutch didn't have a lot of land where they could farm. So this guy, he's like, I will farm on this land. In return, you give me the like you're gonna give me like make me a baron or something, make me a nobility, because then back then was like all nobility. And basically he imported potatoes back then. Back then potatoes weren't even like in Europe. They were barely used. We got potatoes in Europe, I'd say, past maybe like what 200 years, because before it was in South America mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and potatoes grow pretty much anywhere almost. So that's he used that as an advantage to grow. And the thing is, back then, people were basically slaves, where they how can I say, where they like belong to an owner. So like they're farming, right? But the
Yeah.
owner of the land is like basically your owner, and if he wants, he can like kill you if you run away. It was pretty brutal, and it's about a story about this guy who's trying, he's desperate, alone to make land, so it grows, proving that he's that he can achieve that.
This is
But-
set in the Netherlands, like Dutch.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's fighting at the same time against all the odds, because the owner of the land, basically the government was like, no, this land, you're not actually the owner, because this is like outside of your territory, but because it's
Right.
close to him, he's trying to screw him over, basically this rich millionaire guy, the nobility guy. And it's really interesting because you can see the fucking struggles, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, like
yeah.
I think one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie is like when one tiny sprout of potato came, like the green, and he's just like, there's three people sitting and looking at it like, holy shit, this is actually growing. And it's like you waited an hour just for one little sprout of him fighting, and it's like, but then after that movie goes from like, I'd say 8 out of 10 to like solid 10 out of 10. It's like it gets really good, man.
Well,
You
it's
should watch it.
essentially you're watching the struggle of a guy who's trying to make a living by bringing potatoes to Europe.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is not what I would have expected with the title "The Promised
But then-
Land." I
but
would have
then it
thought
gets
it's like
even
a
more-
religious thing, because that's usually what you like. If you hear the title "The Promised Land," isn't that usually religious? Like
I think-
Christian?
yes, but like for them as well, back in those days, it was quite a breakthrough to be able to grow crops and
Yeah, for
and,
sure,
and
for sure.
especially to have some certain yeah wait
Uh,
and even to wait.
And is this an American-made film, or is
Yeah.
this
There we go.
a European film?
It's a European film. It's I forgot.
Yeah, if I-
Danish.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
Danish.
it's
But if I
Danish.
recall, no, Hollywood didn't really have anything much to do with it.
Which
if I
is-
I mean,
recall.
these days they haven't produced anything that I would consider
Oh, it's such a good movie,
good
man.
in a while. Like we're seeing more of a rise in like European and like Korean
Yeah.
And
films
it looks-
nowadays that are coming out
I
that
mean-
are really thought provoking and good.
I mean, we did watch like what's the name of the movie with Mark Ruffalo and there was
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's I don't think I would necessarily consider that to be like proper Hollywood, because that's A24. So the studio A24, they focus more on these kind of art house type films where that's actually have a well written script and a thought provoking story. It's less commercial than generally like the big studios in Hollywood.
Actually, back on the topic of the Promised Land. In fact, because it's Danish, it got some backlash because there were backlash, more like interviewers were being asses because it wasn't as diverse, and like the actors laughed like what the hell are you talking about? It's like it's Netherlands, like in like before World War One, if I believe so.
Yeah.
And it was like that's why I didn't win any awards, because Asia, like for example Parasite, it's excluded because they're allowed, but for some reason Europe isn't, which again, Hollywood shit.
Yeah, I think that's a bit bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to make a historically accurate picture, we don't need to force unnecessary
Mm.
diversity, which did not exist in those days.
Yeah.
Speaking of A24, was Nope by them?
No, that
It
was
looks very A24-ish.
Yes, but that is
Such a good
because that's Jordan Peele, I think.
Mm.
Just him and his production company. I don't know
you
which
seen Nope?
studio was
No,
attached
I
to it.
haven't.
I
Nope,
think it was
I
one of the
haven't.
bigger ones. There was one of the bigger ones, either Universal or Warner Brothers. Like, one of the bigger studios was attached to that, but the movie is the movie because of Jordan Peele. Like, the way he
Mm.
directed, they just gave him the creative freedom.
Yeah.
I think that's what they do a lot these days. Like, if you have like a breakout director that makes a great film that is being produced by one of the big studios, it's because nowadays when those studios produce something, they
Mm.
give a lot of creative freedom to the directors to do what they want to do, which was different back in the day, like in the golden age of Hollywood.
Yeah.
It was studio executives that would make the calls, and the director wasn't a big, like,
Yeah.
if you look at most of the like big movies from the 40s and 50s, there wasn't really a specific director that got the fame for it. It was the studio,
Yeah.
because it's
Mm.
studio
That's true.
production.
Yeah.
And they even had at some point they had a code, like a guidebook, as
yeah, I
to
think I
what
heard of
what
that, yeah.
what you can show in a film, what you cannot show in a film. To kind of, it was very very
Yeah.
like propaganda type, especially during World War II. Like, what they would
Yeah.
produce was like very strict to that. And then at post 1960, there was a bit more of a liberal revolution where they decided to give creative freedom to other people, to directors. I mean, part of that is because in 1960-ish, around that time, there was an antitrust lawsuit against the big five studios
Kind of
because they
history
controlled
repeats
everything.
itself, I guess.
Yeah, they controlled everything from pre to post production, and they were all even the movie theaters, everything.
Isn't it like how, like, as well, one of the reasons why like Marilyn Monroe became like the sex icon and popular because of a loophole kinda in the strict guides. So as soon as the audience saw a little bit of tie, they're like,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That was that.
Yeah. Basically, it's not because it's like a loophole. It's more because like the whole Marilyn Monroe era, sort of. It's
Yeah.
like she's kind of, that was sort of like for her to be rebellious in a way.
yeah,
And then
her
and
personality.
then it just ended up happening that people really enjoyed that sort of thing, and then
Yeah, I mean,
she
but
started
that was
having a following.
pretty common in those days, because you'd have like the studios would have like their stars.
Yeah.
Right? So Marilyn Monroe would have been one of those stars, and
Mm.
then they had like people like James Dean, and right, these were the studio stars that would like star in every single studio film that studio made.
Yeah.
And that was like the glamorous kind of, I think, 50s.
Yeah. You're my star,
60s.
motherfucker.
Huh?
You're my star, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, actually thinking about it, what was the first booby on screen? Do you think people were like, whoa?
I think that was probably 70s, like
Think
the
70s?
hippie revolution. Yeah. That was. It must have been after the 60s for sure, because before then Hollywood was very, very censored.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and I probably in the 60s, if an actress woman had a husband, then when she showed a bit of tit on camera, I would have fucking beat her up.
Yeah,
1960s, everybody.
guys, did you know that every time the United Kingdom loses the World Cup, the reports of domestic violence rises?
Dude, I've read a fucking. I don't know if
Crazy.
this is true, but apparently, domestic violence increases whenever there is football being played,
Yeah.
regardless
that's
of whether they win or lose.
Yeah,
when
because
they're playing,
because
domestic violence goes
there's,
up.
There's two modes. Fuck, my team lost. And then there's, yeah, my team won.
Fucking hell,
It
man.
doesn't stop.
Fucking dipshit.
Jonas face reveal when.
God damn it.
Fucking hell, man. Actually, what I remember reading the Golden Age of Hollywood, but that was quite a while ago. They say it was mainly the 70s when like really good movies, quote unquote, start like
But that
Jaws,
I
Ghostbusters.
wouldn't say that's the
Yeah.
golden age. So I wouldn't consider that to be the golden age of Hollywood. I would consider that to be the golden age of films.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Because the golden age of Hollywood is like big 5 studios producing fucking everything.
I
And
keep on remembering.
what?
Fuck you, my team won.
It's a sad truth.
Hell,
No,
It's a sad fucking truth.
but as well, in the 70s, there was also a lot of weird experiments being done with films. For
Yeah,
example,
but that's exactly
like-
that
like-
because the studios, that antitrust lawsuit split up the studios
yeah,
from the theaters. So then theaters started showing foreign films, and we had like the French New Wave and the films from Italy that were being shown, and then the directors that were working in America, in Hollywood, got obviously influenced by these new things that were being brought in and the creative freedom they had. So then we had like Francis Ford Coppola making The Godfather in the 70s, for example.
yeah.
And
The
then from-
Godfather.
We had there was that other one. What the fuck was it called? Chinatown. But that was earlier. No, actually, it was the same
Chinatown?
time.
Rush
Yeah,
Hour?
Chinatown. It was another film that is really, really good.
Actually, didn't like I know it's about Hollywood and stuff, but didn't also China had like quite of a golden age when it comes to like Jackie Chan, for example? I remember seeing movies like as a kid, like like old movies. I'm like,
Actually, I
holy
don't know
shit.
much about Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
But doesn't he star
Chucky Chan?
mostly in American movies?
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they
in
weren't
Rush Hour he was-
Chinese-made movies.
No, like I watched a lot of Chinese-made movies as a kid, translated like to Russian,
Yeah.
and it was like Meals on Wheels, for example, like one of my favorite ones. And then he had like some really really classic ones where I can't remember a lot because it's a bit of a blur. But I remember seeing the fucking stunts and the fun fights, like the drunk master, drunk Shaolin.
Yeah.
That's Chinese. That's Chinese. That isn't American,
Alright.
for example.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
know
man,
about that.
that's like a classic,
I think I remember most from Jackie Chan when he was working for American films. Like
Yeah,
when he's
yeah.
starring in American
Yeah.
films, those are the ones I
Yeah,
remember.
but he did work for Chinese ones, or there was also like, for example, Chinese
suppose
movies.
But that happens with like most of these actors that
Yeah.
don't come from America. They star, they become successful in their own country, and then eventually move on to be in Hollywood.
Right.
Well, I think I think his first American movie was actually Rush Hour because he was even learning like English at the time.
Don't know if it was Russia. Was he the one? No, that was Bruce Lee.
Wait, when did Rush Hour
He
come
didn't
out?
do the Green Hornet, right? No, that was
Uh,
Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee did the Green Hornet. That was
Yes,
earlier.
that
I think
was.
Jackie Chan was
Chucky Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Chucky Chan.
Chuck E. Cheese. Big
His-
chilling.
His main like his peak of his career was 90s, right? Like
Yeah,
Rush Hour and
basically.
things like
Yeah.
that was like the golden age of action films. I would say the 90s.
Wait, was it Rush Hour 90s or 2001 or something?
I think it was 90s.
If
like
it
late
was-
90s,
If it
maybe?
was in the 2000s, then I think it was 90s. But if it was in 2000s, it definitely wasn't his first movie, American movie.
Rush Hour was 1998.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very close. Yeah. But
Jackie.
I'm pretty sure he did some other stuff in the early 90s. But
The Big Brawl, 1980.
ah,
The Big Brawl, Jackie
it
Chan.
makes sense too because by the time of like 1988, he was already a bit like what 40 maybe.
Yeah,
at the time,
No,
so-
I think I don't know if he's done anything recently. I think now this is what usually happens with if you look at most of the like action stars of the 90s.
Yeah.
They had like their peak, and even Schwarzenegger and people and Stallone and people like
Who?
that. Arnold
Who?
Schwarzenegger, the bodybuilder.
Okay.
Get down.
Get to the
Get-
chopper.
Chopper. Was it? Yeah, Get to the Chopper was from
Predator.
Predator,
Yeah, that was Predator.
Get
But
to
most
the
of these,
chopper.
they got into the films because the way they look, and those were just like the senseless
Yeah.
action
Son
films
of
of
a
the
bitch.
90s.
Yeah, yeah. Even
Yeah, exactly.
what's his name? Oh, Stallone.
But this is the same with Jackie Chan. Like he got into it because of the way, like his martial arts stuff and his stunts, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now later on, like after having been like a decade or two in starring in films, they are getting more roles where they actually have to act, and like they're doing more character work.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like you can see now that they're actually playing characters and becoming actors.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they didn't like most of the '90s action movies. Like the
Yeah.
acting is horrible,
I think-
absolutely fucking
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, I think
This
a
is
lot of
great to watch.
action ones, like for example, like Jackie Chan. Back to that, like I noticed that it is not that much talking because most of the acting was fucking terrible.
Yeah,
But it's mostly acting with your body, like with the action,
yeah.
because you can see the stunts, not just the stunts, even the way they fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes they put a comedic reference, like he
Yeah,
dances
yeah.
like
I mean,
like the
especially Jackie Chan is
Yeah.
very slapstick humor, kind of
yeah.
cartoony movements and stuff.
Bro is old now. Man.
Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
his
And
70s, if I
again,
recall.
we're getting old, guys. When
I
was
got
Jackie-
most of the fucking action stars in the '90s are pretty old now.
He's 70, man. He was
Yeah,
born in
same.
54. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what Arnold who?
Who, Joe? Joe? Who? Jackie Chan, Chick Check.
A fellow German. Boy,
Thanks.
he's Austrian. Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
yeah. That's
Austrian,
why
he's
they didn't allow him to dub his German. Because actually, recently,
No. Actually, in German, like if you watch German dub movies, he dubs his own voice.
no. But some of them they didn't allow him because his accent isn't an actual German accent. It's not like it's Austrian. So it's the
Yeah,
same.
It's like Bavarian kind of.
Yeah, so it's the same as if like someone in Britain using an Aussie accent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's true. He has a very southern accent.
Yeah. Man.
So then, yeah, if you
I'll be
plays-
back.
it would be. I think in actually, yeah, I remember that from Terminator because it would have been just really fucking. Like you can't take it serious, like a killing machine speaking in a Bavarian accent. You
Yeah,
can-
yeah.
Hey guys, did you now have Patreon? If you like to see this, with less audio cuts, Patreon.
Yeah, if you want to see the uncensored version, subscribe to Patreon.
Anyway,
We're still gonna have to censor some of that though.
a lot of it,
Yeah, that's a fucking shame.
especially the football part as well.
The football part?
football
yeah,
part.
maybe.
Maybe some of it.
Back to the movies, shall we?
All right, back to the movies with
God damn.
Joe. Joe
Hell
what? Joe Mama.
Joe.
Do you think that
I don't.
movies
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
movies were better? Because generally, like when we talk about like classic films that are really good throughout, most of them were made in the '70s because they had that like kind of more liberal and more creative freedom in Hollywood specifically. But most of these movies I would consider are better than generally all of the ones that are produced today.
Yeah, it's true.
Like
'cause
it's
did you,
today you find good movies, but they're usually like an A24 type thing.
Did
Yeah.
you notice what really pisses me off about the fucking modern trailers is one, they fucking spoil a lot, and two, what they do is really, really triggers me, man. I get so pissed off. What they do is they take two different cuts from a movie and combine it as if it's like one dialogue line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
so
the-
it's like in one scene, I don't know what to do, and then there's a random cut. Oh, this is what's gonna happen. Even though it's like different parts, like
but
they
this
put
is
it
because
together.
you
it's
want to
shit.
But I
give
can-
like
but-
you want to give an idea of the feeling of the film. You want to
Yeah.
give an idea of the story
Yeah.
without giving too much away.
I can understand
shit.
it, but it's
Shit
also sort
trailer.
of like false advertising, you know?
Yeah,
It's not necessarily false advertisement. Like if they sell what the film's gonna be like to you in 2 minutes, and then you go watch the film, you have a great time because you know what type of film you're expecting. You know what type of like action you want to be seeing. and
Yeah.
It's not false
it's
advertisement
so
if the
lame.
line
But-
isn't
No, no.
precisely the same line.
Yes,
as the
yes, I
movie.
know.
Paste. You know
Yeah.
this every single, not every single, but like a lot of trailers every year. It's the same copy and paste formula, like the same combining two parts. Like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
rock movie has it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
Is
every
it there-
rock
at
movie
one
trailer-
point they had done a YouTube? It was a funny YouTube video of them making fun of the fact that every trailer is the same.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, or honest trailers, like for example those.
those ones.
Yeah, I
This
mean-
is the same. I personally don't watch trailers because I think these days I agree with you, they spoil too much of the film.
Yeah.
I
Like-
prefer to just like walk into a film without having any
Exactly.
expectations.
I don't think I ever saw a black and white movie. I want to
No.
watch The Girl on the Bridge, which is a French black and white movie.
You
Good
gotta
one.
watch Citizen Kane, son.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen those.
Citizen
Like
Kane
that
is
is-
I can't
good.
tolerate black and
Widely
white.
regarded. The thing is, like, I don't this was what I was trying to talk about before. Is like back in the day, the writing of the films seemed to be better than it is today. But the problem I have with older films is that the visual quality is shit because obviously the technology wasn't there back in the day. I like visuals. I like it. To me, going to see a film is a visual experience as much as it is I go for the story. But I the shame is that movies back in the day, generally, on average, I would say had a better story. Probably because they had to make up for not having fancy visuals because they just didn't exist back then. Nowadays, everyone's relying on the fancy visuals and effects to sell the film, and they kind of slack a little bit on the story.
But also, like, for at least in my opinion, like sometimes old movies, like I get the plot and everything, but I think a lot of people praise black and white movies because, like, oh, it's the origin of like cinema and all that, but it's just being biased.
No, yeah,
sometimes. Some
those-
of
I
the
think it's
movies aren't good as.
nostalgia to some
those are
degree.
just the pretentious type people, man. Like,
Like
know,
you can't tell me that a black and white movie from the 50s looks better than what we have today.
Yeah.
It just fucking doesn't.
Hot take. Godfather overrated and it's kind of mid. I watched it.
I like
It's
it.
good, but it's not as like, oh my god, number 2, or like, oh, is it number 2 on IMDb? It's like, no, man.
Again, you have
it's
to consider
biased.
that at the time it came out, it was revolutionary
yeah,
because it was like this is the thing. Like now we look at the film as like, oh yeah, I've seen that a million times, but you wouldn't have ever seen that a million times if that film hadn't started it.
Probably. Yeah.
Like it's the same with Citizen Kane. Like what we see today, like in the way they shoot films, camera angles, and visual storytelling. Citizen Kane created all of those techniques, all of those like visual storytelling techniques and camera cuts and stuff like that. We wouldn't have any of those if Orson Welles didn't go ahead and do something that at the time was completely unheard of.
Yeah, Orson was was he the director or the
Yep.
producer? Okay.
He directed.
Was it based on a book?
Citizen Kane. I am not sure.
Yes, if I
Like,
recall,
isn't it-
yes, Citizen
No,
Kane.
I don't think so. I don't think it's based on a book. I think it was a screenplay. There's a film.
Or yes, or a screenplay.
There's a film
if
by
it's not a
David
book.
Fincher about the making of Citizen Kane, which is
It's-
called Mank.
Is it?
That is also
Soaping?
black and white, but it's a modern film. It came out on Netflix, I think, last year.
What's the movie
Recommend
about?
it. About the making, the writing of
No,
Citizen
what's
Kane.
Citizen Kane? What is it about? Like what?
Citizen Kane is kind of
Is
about
it a guy named Kane who's a citizen?
yeah,
It's
like
it's a citizen with a cane.
having a lot of money and possessions doesn't make you happy. That's the whole
Okay.
point of the film.
Okay.
Which I mean, at the time when it came out, it was like something people had never seen before because of the way it was created and the way it was written and the way it was shot. Obviously, now we see a lot of it because the film influenced a lot of the going forward the production of film. It's the same with The Godfather.
Remember, guys, money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys you a lot of nice things.
Like
I'd rather
on
cry
Patreon.
in a Ferrari
Than just cry.
than cry in my fucking Fiat.
The one that happened to be parked downstairs.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah. Maybe I'll give it a look because, like, me generally, I'm very picky with movies. I'd say like, yeah, apart like from like The Promised Land, I think another one of my favorite ones. I wouldn't say it's recent, but I love suspense movies. Just how I think majority of other people
Yeah,
like Prisoners. I'd say
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prisoners is great.
Oh,
great. man.
Alfred
Such a great
Hitchcock,
movie.
man,
film.
that guy, like for the black and white movies, for example, as well. Alfred Hitchcock was fucking amazing for suspense.
What is this?
Alfred Hitchcock?
Yeah,
for
Hitchcock.
suspense.
Again, like
Alfred
Hitchcock came like the things he did in those days.
Who
Like, all the techniques of
he's-
creating suspense in a film.
Yeah,
was he? The guy that
Alfred
directed Twin
Hitchcock.
Peaks?
he directed Psycho.
Yeah, he did Psycho.
That's right.
Like also
And
other things,
Vertigo
but
and like
Psycho.
a whole bunch of. But the way he created all of these techniques of creating suspense. He was
Yeah.
the pioneer of that. That's why the films are regarded as great, even though like you watch them now, it's like,
Yeah, but if
Wow.
you apply those techniques with like modern day cinematography, it's amazing to watch as
and
well.
that's generally what people do. Like,
Yeah.
if you have a really good film today, that is
Yeah.
what they do.
But there's also, like, for example, in my opinion, as well, there's a bit sometimes too much suspense. For example, I saw a movie, I forgot the name, probably will bring it up on the screen, where a woman got her kid stolen and she was chasing this car, but she doesn't have a phone to call the police. And it's like the entire movie of her chasing these like rednecks that stole her kid. And it's like the whole movie or the whole hour, you're just like, you don't have time to kind of relax or think. It's just constant action, constant chasing, constant that. And then in the end, she actually like like slowly tracks them down. It's not really a spoiler, but like but it's still like it's like it's
think
like
I think
on
it
the
can
edge all the
be.
time. It's too much.
It can be a good, like it can be a nice adrenaline experience though.
I
Like
don't
if
know.
you're
I just felt
constant,
tired
if you're in
afterwards.
suspense and like yeah, but like
I
it
s-
can be a valuable like it's an experience that I can
Yeah.
imagine enjoying.
I sort
Yeah.
of had that a little bit, even though it's completely different. Like with Oppenheimer, like I didn't get tired, but it like
Yeah.
it's like a train that doesn't stop, man.
Yeah, yeah,
but,
You know,
yeah.
it just
It
keeps on
keeps
going.
tension keeps on
Yeah.
going,
Really?
Yeah.
It's great.
For me, Oppenheimer was like a train that never started. It only started a little bit when they're actually preparing the nuke, like, but then the entire
Wow.
film, it's like you're like,
Wow, look at
do
you being deep.
something. Oh my God, communists! Come on, do something. It's like this
disagree.
poking
I
stick. Like, come on.
disagree. I mean the whole point of that film and the whole point of the suspense of the film was the politics as to what goes
Yeah.
on behind the
But-
scenes and the like trials and shit and the
Yeah.
suspense. Like even though it's you with 3 hours of people talking,
But it was
it keeps
yeah.
rising.
Yeah,
is
that's how I
fucking
felt during the
great.
movie.
It was such a comedic though. Like the villain was so comedic. It's like, this is my entire plan. All along, I was the evil guy. It's like
I
it
know.
was so comedic in my opinion. It's like a
Nah,
good movie.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I loved the movie, but it was kind of like funny. I'm
No,
like,
but for me that I kind of like you
Yeah.
pick up on it early on
Yeah,
that
but-
like this guy, what's his name? I forgot the name though. Not of Robert Downey Jr. The guy he was playing. What's his name?
I forgot.
Who was Robert Downey Jr. playing in Oppenheimer? The name.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I fucking
names.
can't remember the name at the moment.
remember.
But the character he was playing, you could immediately tell that basically this guy is. That's why they were like
Yeah.
one of the first few scenes is where he's
sleazy.
being trialed.
Can you explain to me what the fuck was up with that Russian chick? Was she Russian? She was a commie. The one that suicide because of the sleeping pills, but then they sneak peek that someone was actually drowning her because that's a common way to kill people. right?
What in Oppenheimer?
Yeah, the depressed chick. She was depressed. She's like, I love you.
Mm.
Don't leave me. But I hate you throwing his flowers away. The one.
I gotta be
Accurately
honest, I don't remember
representative.
that.
Yeah,
it wasn't. It
girl.
wasn't like I think it wasn't a particularly vital part to the film.
Yeah, but it's still like,
Because
what
I
the fuck
don't
was that
remember
about,
it.
man? It's like, I remember seeing it. She gave her flowers. She fucking threw him in the face. I'm like, okay. And she's like, apparently she was really, really depressed, like clinically, like clinical depression and stuff. But also, I'm like, what?
I don't know. I don't remember that part.
You
I don't.
think-
No, how could you not? Like it was.
That's
it
the
was
whole
for
quote.
quite not the whole plot, but
No,
there.
quotes.
Quote. Like it's there for quite a bit of the movie. You know where you don't remember the chick that basically, if Oppenheimer was found with her, they would have like accused him of being a communist.
Yeah, the comic chick.
That's what we're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
That was there for quite a bit of at least the first part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean I remember it, but I don't.
I think
remember
her-
her being drowned.
To be honest, her acting weird, like for example, like throwing the flowers and everything. I think it was just great scripting because people don't act rational all the time. They act
Yeah.
I mean,
irrational,
the thing
especially
is, like if you
in
have someone
desperate
who's
times.
bipolar.
Yeah.
But also, I think the movie did a good job about just not explaining what do you call it, plot holes. They're just like, fuck you, That's it. That's what you get. Like what happened to her? I don't know. That's it.
Doesn't matter. Moving
Yeah.
Doesn't
on.
matter. But also, guys, I'm gonna ruin Oppenheimer for you. The quote when he says, "I have become death, the destroyer of worlds." Right? He read the book when she was grinding on him, and I almost laughed in the cinema because I thought in my head, "I have become death, the destroyer of pussy."
The Sloppenheimer.
Sloppenheimer.
The sloppy
Yeah, boy, when she gives you that Sloppenheimer.
No, I'm a fan of Boston.
That was the whole plot. The nuke, the bust nut.
You busted a nut.
Oh,
To be fair,
But-
though, the what I did not enjoy about Oppenheimer is pretty much the only thing I didn't enjoy about Oppenheimer is the fact that
nuke was lame.
the nuke was fucking lame. Like they could have
Mm.
fucking CGI'd a little bit of that
Yeah.
to make it
yeah.
a bit more nukey rather than just look
Or
like a
use-
goddamn gasoline explosion.
I legitimately got a bit pissed because they didn't use. I think they actually had real world footage now of that test.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so. Well, I don't know of that one.
But still,
The
like
thing is,
any,
you could have
any-
made it. You could have made it more impactful if you had just gone and used a little bit of CGI. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's only a bad thing
Anticlimactic.
if you don't use it correctly.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like the thing is, the point of trying to use visual effects and CGI is to enhance practical effects.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like it's not
you use
supposed
it
to
as
be
a
just
storytelling device, really.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
You want to create visuals that,
Yeah.
that tell your story.
Yeah, so it's also a problem when it's only CGI, for example, and visual effects. But if he actually had put in a little bit to enhance the practical effect that he made, it would have been a lot better, I think. So.
I think, I can kind of understand why that wasn't done, because on a technical level, it becomes difficult to do CGI and visual effects when you're working with IMAX film.
Right.
Right, because you have the IMAX film, which is actually being shot on film, and the film is like this fucking big. It's enormous.
Mm-hmm.
The digital equivalent for that would
Just
be a
like-
40K resolution. Try rendering something at
40K?
40K resolution.
What?
Yeah, because the
guess
film.
40K? What?
Yeah,
Jesus.
That's IMAX.
Yeah, yeah.
So
IMAX is fucking massive because the film is like the films are usually something like this, like for IMAX, but on a normal camera, that they're like something like this.
Damn.
So then,
So-
if you want to do visual effects or CGI, you need to render that in the resolution that you need and print it on film, which becomes insanely fucking difficult and expensive.
Skill issue.
Can't you just render it and like scale up? Boom, done.
Just use AI, bro. The AI scale up tool, you know.
AI scale up, yeah. No, but I can understand why he didn't want to use any of that in the film. I don't actually. I think there is a visual effects studio attached to the film, though, so I wonder what
Yes.
they did.
Yes, I mean, I don't think it's even possible for a film that long to not even have one cleanup or something.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
I wonder what they did. I remember that for sure for the Middle Eastern country, the scenes where the woman is naked, they had put a CGI dress in those scenes so they can show it in wider areas around the world, because they would have not shown Oppenheimer at all in a number of countries because
Right.
of the nude scenes, and you do want the revenue from those countries, so you're going to. But I don't know if that's the only thing they did in terms of visual effects.
What I know is that I can do better with my phone camera.
Now, I appreciate
Let's go.
IMAX. I appreciate, like, if you watch. I was considering going to see Oppenheimer in Prague, because in Europe the only like actual IMAX cinema we have is in fucking Prague.
Yeah.
But it would have not
Right.
made sense, because then you have to like fly there, you have to book a fucking hotel for the night, you go
I
see
guess-
the fucking film, you fly back. Like, that's an expensive viewing
I guess
of a film.
good to know, because like Prague, Prague, where is it? I forgot.
No, isn't there
Czech
also in the UK
Czech
though?
Republic,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like in the European Union, the
Ah,
only
okay, yeah.
IMAX proper IMAX theater we have is Prague.
Right. We used to
So-
have an IMAX here.
Mm-mm.
Embassies,
Yes.
not embassies. Eden had.
Yes,
they shut it
Digital
down.
IMAX, it's not actual IMAX.
Oh, okay.
Like actual IMAX, the ones that have a 70mm film projector.
Right. Okay.
Most cinemas these days say IMAX, but it's just fucking.
they
It's
had
just a
a-
4K laser projection. It's
they
not
had,
actual like film projection.
No, but I saw the pictures of the Eden Cinema. They had like the fucking camera half of this room the size with actual big ones. Their pictures.
I'm pretty
In
sure
if I'm
they
not
did
mis-
not
And,
have an IMAX.
if I recall, though, it was not just the digital IMAX. It was like in 2008, and then they closed in 2008 or 2004. I forgot.
I don't know. I'd have
but-
to look into that. But as far as I know, there was never an IMAX theater here.
Oh, yeah. Actually, no. Just set one up here, bro. Easy.
Yeah. Let me just buy an IMAX projector and set it up in my living
Quick
room.
5 minutes Rick and Morty adventure. Actually, speaking as well of modern stuff, like Dune 2 and Dune 1, I think like holy
I
shit, they
haven't
killed it
seen
with
Dune
lighting.
2. I haven't seen Dune 2. I've seen Dune 1, and it was fucking great.
The 2 one is even better in my opinion, and
What
they
I
did
loved
lighting
about-
better.
What I loved about it is that they managed to make it look great, even though like everything has that harsh sunlight. That's
Actually,
usually really difficult to make something
Yeah.
look great if
What-
everything is like really fucking hard lit.
What-
But they played with the contrast so
Mm.
well, and then you have like at night everything's dark, and then the explosions are super fucking bright, and it
Yeah.
looks fantastic.
and actually, what's kind of Then they also did that when the explosion, other things actually dim to give that effect that it's an actual real explosion.
Yeah,
Because with the camera,
yeah,
other
yeah.
things dim when there's too much light, and they
Yeah.
actually did that. But also, like the Dune 2, there was the fighting in an arena, which is almost black and white, and apparently they removed the
Don't spoil
infrared
it for me.
filter.
Don't spoil it for me. I haven't
No,
seen
but
it.
there
I
was the
want to know
arena.
nothing about Dune 2.
And apparently they removed if I'm not mistaken, they removed the infrared filter from the camera and shot it on infrared just so everything is like that black and white, but infrared actually. It's like really fucking trippy.
They had done a similar thing in Nope, where it was hey, was it Nope? It was the one with the UFO,
Yeah, no.
Jordan Peele.
I don't
Because
know.
most of that it takes place at night, but it doesn't look like it.
The
Like
climax was during the day.
yeah, but like most of the film, a lot of the film takes place at night, and obviously you can't capture that at night.
Mm.
Skill
What you
issue.
see with like with all the detail
Nope
that you
issue.
have, you can't capture that. So what they did was they captured it in they shot during the day. They captured in infrared,
Mm.
so the sky is completely black.
Mm.
And then they took the color from the non-infrared and the luminance information from the infrared and put those two together to essentially do like a half practical day for night thing.
Mm.
That's really cool.
Actually, I think after watching Nope, I got like a bit of a UFO bug. Like, not that I'm crazy, but like UFO bug, like getting into those movies. I even watched the fucking what's the classic, The Fields, with I forgot the name of the actor.
Was it
Science,
Science?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like-
M. Night Shyamalan. It's a fantastic film. Holy shit, that was a
Yeah.
good film.
Like I never saw it. But I couldn't stop and fucking laugh because a Scary Movie ruined it for me. Because Scary Movie had like
They
so
make
many
fun of it?
the comedy, yeah. But like
I don't
it
know, I don't
fucking
remember
ruined
that.
for
I
me.
don't think I've seen that scary film. Okay, they made like 5
But
scary movies.
Did you notice that like
right?
that movie Signs that like it's all writing, you almost don't get any action. Well, you get some action. It's just
you see like the monster once, but that's what makes it so great. Like it is a terrifying film because
Yeah.
of the way it was directed and the way it was made.
it's just in one house. Or like
The
most of
entire
the movie.
exactly, and you
And-
never see the fucking monster. You
Yeah,
just see people's reaction. It's fucking.
I'm in
great.
uncharted territory here. I haven't seen these movies.
You haven't seen Signs?
No.
That's a great film. I recommend you watch it.
Yeah,
That's a good.
it's with
film.
what was the Joker actor? I keep on forgetting his name. Phoenix.
Yeah.
Ah, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he was super young, man, in that movie. I was like, holy
Joaquin.
shit, that's him. He was like what?
I think that movie came out like when? That was like early 2000s, something like that. Signs?
Yeah, I think so.
How old was he? 5?
He was, yes.
5-year-old Joaquin Phoenix in 2001.
No,
Ah.
it was like.
No, I know. I'm fucking with you.
It was released in 2002.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
But-
another great UFO film, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Haven't seen that
Steven
one.
Spielberg. It's great. It's fucking great. But that was, I think, 70s or 80s. I'm not sure. But it's an old film. It was like the when Spielberg was just making one good film after the other. It was.
Actually,
That's a good
speaking,
one.
since we were also mentioning about some directors, I keep on forgetting his name. Have you guys seen the what do you call it? The mystery comedy, the Twin Peaks? Is it Twin Peaks?
Twin Peaks is David Lynch. isn't it?
Yeah, David Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, that fucking guy is hilarious. Like I saw like the videos of him directing, and also like when he appears in his own shows, it's fucking hilarious, man.
The dude is unhinged. The dude is
Yeah,
completely
he's
fucking
fucking crazy,
unhinged.
man.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
bonkers.
Yeah, no, David, that guy, legendary director.
Was
his
he-
films are really good.
Was he the first guy that did the whole joke about like he cannot, cause in the movie he's a detective that can't hear in the series, and it's like what, and when someone shouts, like you don't have to shout. Was it the first that joke? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. But David Lynch, he's I think. Nah, it's usually when it comes to the films that like really make you think, or you watch and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? And you watch it again and again and again. The best ones are from David Lynch and from Darren Aronofsky.
Like
I
this-
love Darren Aronofsky's films. They are.
Can
fucking
you give some
great.
examples? Because I don't know.
Darren Aronofsky had made Mother.
oh, I
and
love
he-
that. Was a good fucking
That
movie.
was a good fucking.
The
He
ending
made
fucked
Black
me up.
Swan. Black Swan is also Aronofsky.
Oh,
That's
okay.
good
Yes,
shit.
Black Swan. Black Swan I've watched.
That
The-
is
Very good film.
ooh,
the ending of Mother, I did not fucking expect that to happen, man.
Yeah, I mean it.
I
could
did-
end-
throughout
yeah,
the whole film, it's like a progression of like what is going on, and then it's just like what the fuck is
Well-
going on.
Well, yeah,
The
yeah,
robot,
it's like-
right?
And then in the end,
Mother, the robot.
Yeah, it got
No,
ended by
different film.
father.
different film. Not the robot. That is I Am Mother. That's a
Yeah,
different
yeah.
film. I don't
I Am
remember
Mother.
the director of that one, but
Ah,
yes, that
so I
was
don't-
also a fucked film. That was a good film. That was a good
movie.
Mother is the one. That's biblical
No, I don't know that one
with
actually. I never seen
Jennifer
it.
Lawrence
Horror
and
mystery. Ew, Lawrence.
Javier Bardem. Is that his name? Oh, but that was a great film. That is like it's
Yeah, Bardem.
metaphoric retelling of the Bible.
Al Haid,
essentially.
or whatever his name is. Because the same guy was in Dune 2, who was
Yeah,
always like,
yeah.
he's the Messiah. It's like the
Yeah.
whole meme about he's the Messiah. Bro, fucking drank milk. Bro, he's the Messiah. He has an odd amount of
Did you
letters
see-
in his
Did
serial.
you see No Country for Old Men? That's the
Yes.
Coen
That's,
brothers.
that's classic, yeah.
That was him in that film. Holy shit! What a
I didn't even
fucking
realize it
creepy
was fucking
psycho.
him, man. I didn't
That
realize
is
at first it was him.
insane.
Like,
Yeah.
he knows how to act, like, but the whole
Mhm.
meme, like,
That was
but
a
like,
great film.
he knows how to play creepy fucking characters, man.
Yeah, it does.
100%.
He had done another one that I forgot the name.
Skippity Riz.
But he's a great
What
actor.
the Sigma?
What the Sigma?
Yeah.
What
What the
he's really good.
fucking
What the Sigma?
what the Sigma?
What
Skibidi
the-
Riz,
Speaking of
Ohio.
Sigma. I was going to touch on American Psycho, but we
already kinda talked
yeah,
about
we
it.
Yeah.
talked about that on a different episode.
American name, more like. Did you guys like? Can someone explain to me? Probably you guys can't. You guys probably relate, but
Mm-hmm.
because is it just me or whenever it's hard to find good comedy. Because like every time you Google comedy movies, you get something like, God forbid you watch American Pie. It's just fart jokes
Yeah,
and
yeah,
fuck
yeah, yeah.
words.
But that is, I think,
it's
that
shit. It's not even comedy.
Yeah.
And people, how is
it's
that comedy
mostly
movie?
American comedies.
Yeah, American
Yeah.
Like
comedy. It's
American
so
comedy films are generally
Trash.
rinse and repeat the exact same
Yeah.
fucking thing. All the funny bits are in the fucking trailer, and then you have shit like the 40-year-old virgin or
Yeah.
some rom-com type garbage, which
Yeah.
is
I
just
think-
really.
I think
Asian
the-
comedies are hilarious.
Yeah, I think the British usually do better comedy,
Brits do
but
great
sometimes,
comedies.
they do still do the whole American thing. Like,
What is the guy's name? The one who did Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
fuck,
Pug something.
Pug?
I
I don't know. Something
But that,
sounds like
a
Pug.
British comedy is like among the finest. I
Yeah.
would say like that shit is really.
or
good.
or no, this isn't movies, but it's like Faulty Towers, man. For example,
Mm.
I haven't seen that.
there you haven't seen the series Faulty Towers,
Nope, I haven't seen
bro.
that.
You will fucking laugh so
Uh,
bad at some scenes.
Edgar Wright. The
Oh.
reason why I fucking think of a pug because the fucking PewDiePie dog Edgar. Because fuck man.
All right, because
Every time I hear the name Edgar, I'm like, oh, that's the pug.
No, that guy's fucking great. I think there's a couple of American comedy films which I genuinely enjoyed, which are really good and funny.
What do you guys think about The Hangover, for example?
I mean, like, listen, it was a good film. The first one, it was
Yeah.
a good film.
Yeah, well,
But
that was
again,
alright.
it's like one of the it has the standard recipe of an American comedy,
Yeah,
but
it had-
it happens to be actually
Yeah,
funny.
it had that whole like 12-year-old humor recipe
yeah.
sort of to it.
There's one of the films that is a comedy which doesn't have actually two films. They have similar energy. The Nice Guys, which is about detectives in the 60s in Hollywood, and it's with
Sounds familiar, but I haven't
Nice
watched it.
Russell Crowe and the fuck's the Ryan
Nice
Gosling.
Guys. Yeah,
Ryan
fucking love
Gosling.
that movie. Yeah,
That
yeah.
is
one with the-
legitimately
yeah.
fucking funny.
Oh, actually, there's also Bullet Train.
Yeah,
Bullet Train
the-
was good. Yeah,
yeah.
Bullet Train was good. But I
Oh,
think
okay.
this
Yeah,
one
yeah.
is like one of those films which is like the perfect comedy. Even though it is an American film and an American comedy, it is fucking fun.
Me
That,
trying
and
to.
then there's Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Robert Downey Jr. That is legitimately fucking.
I haven't
hilarious.
watched that.
know that one.
You should watch it. It is fucking
Oh,
great.
It's like the Nice Guys, like the scenes, like, what you want? Like, nah, drinks are free. What you want? It's like the custom, like the fucking song starts playing.
Of
The
Drive.
Nightcrawler.
Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking meme.
It's become such a fucking meme that
Mm.
I drive. Like
I
you see
drive.
fucking highway crash and then fucking Ryan Gosling.
We do Instagram race, like how fast you're gonna get not safe for work on your feet.
Oh, it takes like 3 seconds. You open Instagram, you see fucking family of 4 dying. It's
We should do a challenge of Instagram, like how long does it take not to see an e-girl standing on the fence every time, man.
Man,
Like,
Instagram algorithm is fucking wild, man. It's become a bit unhinged in recent years.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Did you guys see about like there's like fucking videos of women breastfeeding like dolls?
I haven't seen that. Thank
Oh yeah,
God.
because apparently that you can show that now. And
Yeah,
So obviously
yeah, it's
capitalism
like-
kicks in, and you got all the OnlyFans models
Yeah.
pretending to breastfeed.
yeah,
children.
it's like holy shit.
Thank God I never seen that, man.
Oh,
I'm not sure
Oh, man.
why, but thank fucking God.
Well, I mean, the algorithm is probably still hiding it. Like the algorithm knows, but
Mm.
it's just not deleting it.
I
It's
don't
like
think the algorithm knows. I'd wonder like how the fuck does that algorithm work? Like
That's
what is it?
disgusting. Where?
everyone says the algorithm. Like, what the fuck is the algorithm?
It's
How
AI
does
that
it
like.
work? What does it do?
Every time I Google something, sometimes I get reels about it. It's like all your data, everything you Google, and everything you like goes into the engine, and then it recommends you the same. So every time you post a reel, right? You know, it has what do you call it, like captions, what you talk about,
Yeah.
what interests, what people like, and then it promotes the same thing. In fact, like recently-ish, there is a graphics card that costs 30,000. That's specifically for AI. You can't really game on it. It's for AI. It's like really really powerful. And Meta purchased like thousands of them, and then after a few months, that's when everyone started talking about the algorithm, because everything you like, you're gonna get the same content all the time.
Right.
So it's a bit fucking crazy. Like I googled the
I
car.
don't think I understand enough about.
Yeah, I
that.
googled the car or googled on Facebook Marketplace. All I get is fucking the same car ads, man. It's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's we're a bit from the movie.
Yeah,
so-
we were supposed to talk
Yeah.
about movies in Hollywood. What's the best film, in your opinion, that's ever been made?
Tough. I mean, I have like a film that I personally think is the best, as in for me, but I don't think like personally it's the best movie ever made.
Which one do you personally think is the best movie ever made?
I don't know, man. That's tough. That's fucking tough because there's so many genres and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be one that's better than the rest.
Yeah, I mean, for example, Fight Club is really amazing, but I personally I wouldn't say like it's the best movie ever made.
Fuck you, it is the best.
No.
Fight Club is the single best film ever made.
Yeah, that CGI scene at the end was amazing, where the buildings
Uh,
fall down. It's like, oh, so real.
Yeah. I'd say my favorite one is Teletubbies.
Fuck you. Fuck
I
you.
really can't pinpoint like, cause I know all good movies. I watched a lot of movies, but it's just so hard to pick the best one. You know what I mean? It's
Oh
kind
no,
of like,
for
I mean-
me, best one, Fight Club.
me,
Like in
me.
terms of like the visual storytelling, the way it's directed, the way it's shot, the way the experience that you have when you watch that film, it is the best.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
the turnaround was quite amazing for Fight Club, even for me when
Like
I
tell
first watched it.
me
but
a
I
movie
wouldn't-
that's better.
Still, there is a movie that I
Name
think I
a
used
movie
to
that's
consider.
better than Fight Club.
I'm trying to think. I mean, there's always The Matrix.
Oh fuck you.
oh yeah, Matrix is.
Hey, the
fucking
Matrix is
awesome.
good.
Yeah,
Matrix is- especially when
Classic.
it came out. When you consider when it came out and what yeah, it's great, but it's not as good. as-
Spider-Man 2, bitch.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
It is a
Generally,
good
like,
movie.
If you
genuinely,
look
but-
at
Oh,
most of the films that David Fincher, which I think that David Fincher is probably the best director in
Yeah.
Hollywood working today. If
actually-
you look at all of his films, like dude's never made a single bad film.
No, I agree.
It's actually, now thinking about it, I think my favorite one, the best one in my opinion, would be probably Inception.
Inception is good, but I think Inception is too blockbuster commercial. Like it doesn't.
Mm,
It's not a movie that makes you think. It's not a movie that makes you ask questions. It's not a movie that makes you think about life, about society. About it's something like generally for me,
sure.
good movies ask a question.
Sure,
Actu-
yes, but
They make
but
you
not
think.
but not only. At the same time, a good movie is also something that leaves you entertained after
Yeah.
it as well.
Oh.
But I do agree, if it gives you a question, then you're gonna keep on thinking about the movie for even longer.
Inception is entertainment. It's
Um,
fantastic entertainment, but it doesn't ask a question.
What the fuck? He made Alien 3? That's random.
Maybe that's like the only
Uh,
film that's not great.
It's like
of his.
he's like Fight Club. It's like, that's like a bit mind fucky. Then you have Seven, which is mystery. Then you have Killer, mystery, Gone Girl, suspense mystery,
Gone Girl
Dragon
is another
Tattoo.
fantastic film.
Oh, I love
Holy
that movie.
shit,
I'm
that was
having a bit
great.
of a mind block at the moment because I'm sure there was a movie that I used to
Yeah.
consider objectively
Wait.
that I think was the best, but I can't really think at the moment. I don't know.
I'm kind of surprised
So, yeah.
that
sorry.
Thor decided to become a Formula One race driver.
yeah. Thor was like, well, I mean, even Iron Man was like racing in Monaco at one of the movies.
Really?
yeah.
Iron Man
Iron
2,
Man
the
2.
dude like fucking races in Monaco and then some.
What?
That's not in Monaco.
What?
That's what in Monaco.
He was doing what in Monaco?
He's racing in Monaco.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna have to roll that back because that's not what you said.
Yeah, we're gonna call you out, bitch.
I'm gonna put up the volume by 10, so it's just like.
What did I say?
I wonder.
I don't know. So we'll just have
tell
to,
me what I said.
have to rewind it.
Oh man, it's the genes.
God damn it.
It's the hat.
Yeah.
No, Iron Man 2, that was a good film. Although Iron Man 1 is, I think, the best Marvel film.
Yeah.
It's the first and the best that they've made. Like now it's
was it the
become
first?
just a
From
rinse
the
and repeat.
yes, from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Iron Man 1 I think is the best as well. But like from superhero movies in general, I think Spider-Man like 2 was, or 1 at least, but 2.
Nah,
Nah, man. There was look, there was corniness to those movies, but
yeah, that's why I
there
don't,
was a
yeah.
real life touch, man. Like the movie Spider-Man 2, it's not even about Spider-Man, it's about Peter Parker, it's about a person.
Yeah.
Like
that's
you're
true.
like also like the
Mm.
experience of the character
But I
feels
think,
so
like,
real.
Superhero films aren't really good ever.
Generally
'Cause
no.
they're too like comic-y.
Yeah, generally no.
yeah.
And
But
even those,
Spider-Man 2 is
yeah,
real, like,
yeah,
it's human, I guess.
Even those are very comic-y, like very comic-y. Like even the way some of the cuts are done, like even the direction or the
Yeah.
comedic moments. Again, there's a lot of corniness, but I think the script and some of the acting, but mostly the script was just so good. Like, yes, it was someone that genuinely had fucking issues, because most other superhero movies are about them. Oh, it's basically the same script every time. It's, oh, I am this character, and now I've had this rise, but now I'm going to fall down again, and now I have to rise up again.
Yeah, this is
And-
a standard plot
and-
for pretty much every
And for
superhero
Spider-Man
movie
2,
ever.
that formula is somewhat there, because that's what kind of happens, but it's a bit different, because instead of something bad happens to the main character, it's just him that he needs to fix himself. He's in the shit. Like he's the guy that put himself in the position to be on sort of on the low down, and then he has to find out what his meaning is and where to go. And then he makes the choice if he wants to rise up or not, because in some of these other films, it's just sometimes something is given to them. Like, oh, you got your powers back because of this freak accident. Congrats. Now
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
back to rise and fame. When Spider-Man 2, it's all about his choice. And I really love that movie for that reason. That's, I think, and if I'm like for a long time as well, not for script, but for a long time, that movie was the only superhero movie to ever win an Oscar.
Actually,
Yeah, really?
Yeah, for
Was it the
visual
only one?
effects.
I mean,
Yeah.
do you guys
that's
notice
understandable.
the trend, the really annoying trend that like superheroes, right? They're like weak, but all of a sudden they're like realize something and they become super strong. I'm like,
Yeah,
motherfucker, where the fuck did you get that strength
Yeah,
from? You had
yeah.
it all along, but now you're like, oh wow, like something clicked, and oh, I'm so now fucking immortal. Like,
Yeah,
Get lost.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't. I'm personally, I don't like any of the superhero films that I've seen
Bleach.
because I find them a little bit too much. Yeah, they're just too
Mm.
comic-y, too childish.
Yeah.
I do like the TV series The Boys.
Yeah,
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
is
that's good.
that is a fantastic take on superheroes.
Yeah, but
Soup.
but you know what's funny? Like a lot of these superhero movies as well, they all fucking started. They all just copy Batman and Superman basically.
Yeah,
Yeah, because- like, even-
because it's
like-
become a commercial machine. Like, you
What?
know, you want to sell.
Yeah.
You want to sell fucking merchandise. You
Yeah.
want
Yeah,
kids to go to the movie and drag their entire family to the movie.
Why can't
It's a commercial machine, right? It's not about the art of making a good film.
exactly what the boys?
Yeah.
That's why I love The Boys.
The comedy,
'Cause
or
it
it's
is-
kind
it
of
is-
comedy on itself, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the whole irony of like the superheroes, or the idea of superheroes. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Why can't there
This
be-
is happening a lot these days. It's like, actually, one of the points I wanted to talk about is like we've had the golden age of films, which was the 70s, and I think now we are slowly transitioning, or have already transitioned, in more of a golden age of television, because now we have like
Shows,
big
yeah.
budget TV shows, which we didn't have before. Before, TV shows were always low budget and like
Yeah,
crank
we-
out as much content as you can.
We do not
for
talk
people
about
to
Lord
watch.
of the Rings show.
I don't know. I haven't seen the show.
1 billion budget.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen the show.
The
I
Rings
haven't
of
heard
Power,
much
right?
about the show, so I assume it wasn't very good.
Mm.
But the thing that's happening now, back in the day, like the quality of TV shows was low because of the equipment they had, and because people at home are watching it on like tiny fucking screens, so everything was shot
Yeah.
in long lenses and close-ups and stuff.
Yeah.
But now that people have like actual televisions at home and they can watch in high quality, they're starting, or have started in the last like 10 years, to produce television shows the exact same as
Yeah.
movies. So you have like cinematic wide
Mhm.
shots. All the quality of a film is there. You just have a lot more time than 2.5 hours to develop a character, which leads to like better developed characters
Yeah.
that you can follow through like multiple seasons.
Mm.
And
Was
like
it-
now, it's like
Yeah.
one of the greatest things
Yeah.
that to have
Yeah.
seen recently is generally a TV show instead
Yeah.
of a film anymore.
Was it Breaking Bad or The Sopranos that really kind of like really started like people, holy shit, this is really good, you know? But
The Sopranos was like early 2000s. That was like, I think that was like among the start of where people actually was like, holy shit,
Yeah.
TV
Like-
can be great.
Yeah, I love movies, don't get me wrong, but like, and I understand that they have high budgets and all that because it's a movie, right? It's a concluded story. Sometimes you get sequels or not, you know,
Yeah.
or prequels or whatever. But like for shows, sometimes you just like, hey, I want to see more. This is fucking
Yeah.
good, you know, or like the stories that you cannot just like explain in the movie's length, right?
Yeah.
That's where the shows really shine at. But like
But
some
then
of
there's
them
a
are,
downside to that, because if you keep inventing more shit, you're gonna get a situation like the TV show Lost, where they started with an interesting premise.
I love that.
And they just kept on adding
I
more
know.
shit to it and more shit to
Yeah,
it and
I
more
have-
shit to
I
it,
have
and it
opened.
just became complete garbage towards the
No,
end.
I haven't watched
That's what I
that,
heard.
but I have a hot take as well with Stranger Things.
It's
Yeah, it's the same
Like-
thing with Stranger Things.
Like Stranger
they just-
Things.
They
I-
keep try milking more,
Yeah.
and it just like it
Yeah,
stop, guys.
Yeah,
it's done,
like
it's
some
over,
people, for
it's-
example, they you see like the final season that they did. Well, it's not the final one, but the last one they did. And people are saying, "Oh, it's gotten good again because like the previous two were bad." I'm like, no, it didn't. It's still just milking.
Yeah,
Like because I thought the first time I saw Stranger Things was around the time it came out, and I thought after watching that season it was gonna be, there's a term, I forgot what the word is, but there's a term that, for example, you either choose like either each episode or each season is gonna be about a completely different story. There's a word, something with an A. I forgot what it's called.
I can't remember
yeah.
the word, but like American Horror Story does the same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
Black Mirror
like
does the
that.
same thing. It's like
Scrubs
every
as well.
episode
Yeah.
is a different story.
Yeah,
in
what's
itself.
American Horror Story in the sense like what's the word like where
I can't think of the word, but I know which
Yeah.
word you mean.
Yeah, I just can't remember for some reason. But I thought that was gonna be that kind of show. But then it ended up. You see the last episode. It's like, oh, is this gonna? And actually, it ended up great because it was like open ended. So you could continue it, but it made more sense not to, in my opinion. Just leave it at
Of
that.
Stranger Things season
Yeah,
one.
of the first season, the
The
last
first
episode.
season I think was
Anthology?
fucking great.
Anthology.
Anthology,
Yes,
yes,
that's
that's the
the
one.
word. Yeah.
No, Stranger Things first season was great. But this happens with a lot of TV shows. Like the only one where I can remember that actually the ending was fantastic. So the way they wrote it while they were doing it. So every season was written again and
Mhm.
again and again, like while they were doing it. They didn't conclude the story from the start. That was Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy.
Hmm.
Those
And that-
two went for
5-6 seasons, and the ending was fucking
Sons of Anarchy,
great.
a real fucking spoiled it for me.
Yeah.
The ending.
Shit, man.
Uh,
I think Sons of Anarchy probably has
Is it
one
good?
of or the best ending in any television show ever.
Is the show good?
The
I
show
haven't
is
seen it.
fantastic. I love the
Yeah.
show.
Actually, in my honest opinion, Stranger Things is fucking boring.
Yes.
I got first 5 episodes. I just quit. It just couldn't
No,
take
I
it,
mean-
man. It's
I
boring.
like the first season.
Exactly.
I
You
really
can't
liked-
tolerate
exactly.
those kids like especially the other one. Like, like shut the fuck up.
No, the kids are a bit
No,
annoying, but
no, I
in
mean,
terms of like what the story is, I think it was Stranger Things season 1 was
yeah,
great
yeah. I think exactly. Season 1 was great, and then they made a season
Boring.
2, and it's not like something completely different, which was what was what I was expecting, sort of like American Horror Story, and it just was super boring, man. Especially with the fucking look. I don't mind it, like in the first season. Actually, the whole premise that the kids try to figure out shit, it was cool, and it was sort of like a retro to older series from like the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
But
I think that's one of the things I loved about the show is like the 80s vibe.
yeah, and but then like they continued on to season 2, and it turned from something like with suspense and horror, and with something like interesting, like and also it ended with an open ending, so you're like left thinking with something. Now you got a shitty answer instead. Like
Yeah.
instead of you having like you know how we're talking about those movies that make you think.
Mm.
Like season 1 could have left you to think what happened after it ended, but then they just gave you an answer basically.
Yeah,
It
no,
was a
no,
shitty one, and it turned into Dragon Ball Z trying to fucking look at me, I've got powers. Ugh! Like
think a lot of
non-stop
times-
fucking going. It was really shit in my
A
opinion.
lot
I
of
don't-
times that exact same thing happens.
Yeah,
Because they'll answer some fucking question that they shouldn't have answered.
exactly.
Prime example of that is Westworld. Have you seen Westworld?
No, but I know
love that
about it.
show, but they ruined
Season 1 was
So
fucking
good.
fantastic. It
it.
was
So good.
probably, yeah, again, like one of the best shows I've ever seen.
At- The
But
thing is,
then they came with season
Yeah.
2 and season 3 and 4, and like it's just complete fucking
yeah.
garbage.
Westworld, I loved the fact that they didn't tell you what's going on. At first, I thought it's like they're in a simulation, like some fucking simulation, where you hook up. But I was like, holy shit, it's actually physical thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
no,
you actually go into it.
Season 1 of Westworld was fucking great.
And the villain, and then
reveal at the end, and
the villain of the Westworld, the villain guy, he was so fucking well written, but then they just fucking ruined it completely. They ruined him. It's like, I was actually the good guy all along. I'm not actually, because at first, probably
but this was season
1.
Season 1, I think they did a great job.
The
with
evil
whole
guy,
thing.
the cowboy.
Yeah,
But then they're like,
let's not
oh,
spoil it for people though.
yeah, a bit of a spoiler, but then he's like,
Don't.
but I don't know if Daniel will watch it because he doesn't really watch TV shows.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
It's
Fucking
not
don't
that
spoil it for the audience.
We'll but the thing is, like, the main villain is like, they made him so lame afterwards, and then you're like, oh, so he wasn't trying to destroy it, he was the part of the problem to begin with. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I think I like the fact that they show how insane he got with his obsession of Westworld and trying to like solve the
He should
game.
have died. He shouldn't have survived.
I don't know. I have to
He got lame in
me-
season 2.
but season 2, fuck season 2. Season 1 is all
Yeah,
that
that's-
matters. Season 1, the ending of season 1 was fucking great.
Yeah, I just love that when you can just be like, you're watching something. Nah, that never happened.
Oh, actually, the plot twist about the one of the engineers.
Arnold, right?
Yeah, I was like, holy it was like I was thinking it,
It
but
was
I wasn't
like
sure.
a Fight Club type moment.
Yeah, I'm
when I
like-
saw it, I was like, holy fucking shit.
Such a good show,
That
man.
was fucking
They just,
great.
but they ruined it completely. Basically, Westworld is it's literally Westworld, but you pay thousands and millions to go into it, and you kind of like go into the world how
It's
it was.
it's a theme park,
It's a
right?
theme
It's
park.
a theme
Okay.
park for rich people where they can go and pretend it's the Wild West. It's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
somewhere in the future, and they can go and pretend it's the Wild West, and like legit pretend it's the Wild West, like going around raping and shooting fucking people and shit like
Jesus.
that. All the people that are
Yeah.
there are like robots made out of actual flesh and blood, so they can be shot, and it's nice and gory for
Right.
the fucked up rich people to go and enjoy. And all of these robots have some sort of artificial intelligence that they can actually function. And
Yeah,
do
they have a
their
script
part
to
and
follow.
yeah, they have a script to follow, and they're all like, I mean,
Yeah.
this is all a program, and the series does a fantastic job. Season 1 only. You don't need to watch any other ones, but
Right.
it does a fantastic job at asking the question, what is consciousness?
Right.
One of the
I'll leave you with that because I
yeah.
don't want to spoil anything, but it's
Yeah.
so fucking good.
Yeah. I did hear a little bit about the premise already before. I just haven't watched it yet.
watch it,
Yeah.
watch it,
Watch it.
watch it,
Watch it.
watch
But
it.
yeah, I mean, I
Watch
think like now we truly are in the golden age of television where we can see what we can create in terms of like the stories and characters that we can develop over
But-
multiple seasons and things like that with the same quality that before would only have been
Mm.
able to pull off with like a blockbuster budget.
I feel like it's true what you said, but also like when it comes to like originals, for example, Netflix originals, it's hit or miss. Sometimes it's like there is no middle ground. It's either shit or it's good.
I would argue that Netflix originals, sorry Netflix, but 90% shit.
Right.
Like they're just cranking out content without
Yeah.
watching quality.
Pretty
I
much.
actually like
Repeated CG as well. You see, this is really same things.
I like Apple TV.
I
Because
haven't.
they Apple TV and HBO, they
I've-
both put a
yeah.
lot of focus on actually creating quality rather than quantity.
Mm.
So generally, like I don't think I've seen an Apple TV show that I haven't seen a lot of them, but all of the ones that I have seen from Apple TV were really good.
I've only seen some trailers of some stuff that's on Apple TV, and it does seem interesting. I just didn't have the time to.
They just really
to
focus on quality.
Yeah.
That and HBO as well. The stuff that HBO puts out is
Yeah.
quality.
Recently, I seen Disney as well has some decent stuff. I saw Shogun, based
Oh
on the
no,
book.
I haven't
No,
seen
I
any
haven't
of the
yet,
Disney
man.
stuff.
You should. It's really really good. It's basically it's based on a book, but the book is inspired on true events about the first British man to reach the Japan's it was called back then,
Okay.
through the trade, because back in the time Portugal was the only trading partner with Japan, and Japan was secluded, didn't allow people in or
Mhm.
out, and they were killing Christians because Christianity was illegal at the time and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And it's crazy how like this guy goes there and he's trying to get out of there, but he also made a name for himself as the first British man in Japan's, and there is the internal conflict of war, who become the shogun, which is there is the emperor, but back in the time there was the shogun. The shogun actually controlled Japan, but the emperor was there just, hey, we have an emperor. What does he do? He writes poetry. But the shogun is the actual ruler
So
because
it's
he's the
like-
military ruler.
Basically, like the type of government that the UK has adopted. Like
Where
they have a queen and a king, right? But like the prime minister runs the country.
yeah,
So it's the same
back
in
in
Japan,
the day,
but the shogun
yeah,
was running the country.
they had districts, and each district had its own leader, and sometimes districts would take over the whole country, and the shogun, the military leader, basically.
Right.
The
Okay.
samurai below him, he is the military, he's the power.
This reminds
then-
me a lot of One Piece.
Yeah.
What I mean, yeah, but a lot of these like animes are kind of based on Japan, I assume. 'cause,
Yes,
like,
yes,
no,
most of them.
that's
Yeah,
where they
even the
come from.
food and
Yeah.
everything. Like,
yeah,
and
that's where
then-
they come
It's
from.
a good show.
culture.
Like you should really watch it. It's like it kept me on
What
the
is it called?
edge. Shogun.
Shogun,
It
And that's
kept
a
me on
Disney
the
thing.
edge. Huh?
Disney thing.
Disney.
Oh, I'll
It
watch
kept me on the edge, and like I was like, holy shit, this is really good. And no naval combat, but some naval stuff, because he is.
Is it an animated show or is it live action?
No, live action. It's based on a book. Like
Nice.
it's not. It's like actual like good shit, man. Trust me. Watch it.
Nice. I'll watch it. Yeah.
It shows you all the brutality, how the Japanese history, they were obsessed with beheading everyone.
I remember
samurai,
there was a series. I've got the name. It was based upon, I think, like late 1800s in Japan, or at least like Japanese, like the relationship between Japan and I think some other countries like the UK, for example. I'm trying to remember the name, but
So
was
it
it
late
really-
1800s?
Huh?
Late 1800s.
If I recall,
When
late-
was it? Because
yeah.
I remember, like, when it comes to Japan, right? Like, they used to have samurai, but when was that time period? Like, from when to when did they, or when did they stop? When did it stop that the samurai were like a
well,
big thing
well,
of the culture?
Well, technically, there's still some samurai now.
Yeah. But when
but
did
yeah.
it stop being like a big thing that's just everywhere?
After because basically America went to Japan didn't want to trade in America. We're gonna use the big gun diplomacy, like you either trade with us or we fucking blast your ports, right? Classic American moment. But the thing is, afterwards, of course, then the shogunate kind of went down, and then there was the emperor, and the emperor became back
What
in
was the
power.
time?
They imported guns, and mostly then they had military. The emperor had military where people with guns rather than swords. Then
Yeah.
they banned swords, and that's when samurai kind of died out.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
Well-
there was a Tom Cruise film.
Yeah, The Last Samurai.
The Last Samurai. That's a
Samurai.
good movie, I
That
think.
was really
Yeah.
good. Holy shit, that was a great
Yeah,
film.
that's a classic.
Fuck.
I want to say as well, because I want to
first
correct
weeb.
myself because of what he said as well. Yes, it's not like that there are samurai now, but there are people who still try to live by the way of the samurai. It's not the same at all.
I mean, I think
But,
you
you
have that
know,
everywhere, though. Like,
yeah.
you'll always have the people that really value the values of the culture that there was in
Yeah.
the past, and they still try to follow along with them, which I think is a good thing because it keeps that culture alive.
Yeah.
Except, I'm not gonna comment.
Except the Chinese. I don't know. But the last Last Samurai, the movie, I fucking love it. It's such a good movie.
Tom, it's like the first official weeb.
Tom Cruise.
They should rename it the first weeb.
Man, that dude Tom Cruise, he's
fucking
still
gets
making
fat.
Mission Impossible films.
Huh?
I
Like, the
love
dude
those
is like
movies.
what, 50, 60?
Yeah,
at this
60.
point?
He's
60.
Jesus, man.
We should
He's
show.
still making fucking all
If
the
we-
stunts and shit.
Yeah.
If we join Scientology, do you think we can become immortal and age like Tom Cruise?
Did you guys ever see that picture of like Tom
mate, the
Cruise?
dude is immortal, man. Like, dude an age.
Oh, Did you guys ever see the picture of like Tom Cruise and the woman that was in Top Gun, like in the original
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
like
yeah,
side
yeah.
by side?
yeah.
Yeah, before it's like fuck, bro.
Yeah.
But he must have had a bunch of surgeries, no?
Oh, I'm sure he. I think it's a standard Hollywood thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
Although it doesn't seem very,
Looks.
it doesn't seem very evident. Like I'm sure he had something, but like for example, with a lot of these celebrities, like let's say the cast of Friends, they did surgery, tried to make themselves look young, and you could evidently see how much their face has been molded and changed.
think
With
it's-
Tom, it doesn't seem like there's a lot. I'm sure that he uses like some sort of therapy or maybe even just like testosterone replacement, maybe even just that, because that helps you look
I think
younger.
a lot of them do that.
Yeah.
I think, but I think now, like there was a time, maybe 90s-ish, 80s, 90s, where obviously the techniques of things like plastic surgery weren't as well developed as they are
Mhm.
today. So the people who did it back then, it's not as well done as it is today. Like today,
Yeah.
they have more sophisticated techniques of doing those same things that doesn't require putting fucking plastic in your face.
As
Right.
they say, pay your sergeant very well to break the spell of aging.
Yeah, I mean that's what most. People do.
Chili Peppers! What the hell is lyrics making sense? What the fuck lyrics? Skippity pop it up,
You just don't understand.
bump.
You just don't understand the lyrical genius of Chili's.
The lyrical, it's like, someone says that. Meanwhile, the lyrical genius, hum de bump, I'm gonna hum de bump. It's like, what the fuck you mean hum de bump? Bump what? Oh.
Heroin.
Heroin, smoke heroin. Anyway,
Yeah.
Roman hot take.
Roman hot take. Chili's lyrics make no fucking sense, and I'm not the only one on that. Trust me. Like Swedish girl with a baby inside. Why Swedish girl? Does he know
no.
Swedish girl?
Look at Greta Thunberg now.
Mm.
This
He predicted the future. What the fuck? Time travelers,
Bro.
guys.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I worked in the government, and I know this, and I'm gonna get jailed for telling you the truth.
Oh
on
fuck,
this
he's got a
podcast.
wire.
Yeah,
Which government?
lotteries, all the government lotteries are there to catch time travelers.
is that a thing? Is that truth?
Oh no! I spilled the fuck.
Isn't that like the plot of Men in Black or something?
Is it? I don't know.
No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you
I've
guys.
seen the
I-
I've seen like the first
It's
one.
weird, actually, though. It's funny now I'm mentioning Men in Black. Like, objectively, like the way they're shot, the way these movies are done, they're corny and like they're quite
It's a comedy.
yeah. But
Will Smith before he was not
it's
cool.
somehow genuinely enjoyable. Like I used to enjoy those movies.
Yeah,
Like there's something enjoyable about
because
them.
it's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
but it's entertaining ridiculous. But again, like I mean, that's most kids' films now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
ridiculous and entertaining. The
Yeah.
well-made kids' films are enjoyable to all audiences.
I'm
Yeah.
the dude. It's fucking Spy Kids.
I'm the cook.
What was there was a character that did another great film,
The Big Lebowski.
Lebowski.
I'm the dude.
Yeah, boy, man.
Ah.
That
Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money?
That has become such a fucking meme.
Where's my goddamn money?
Also,
Fucking love
Coen
it.
Brothers. Coen Brothers. Fuck, man. They're
What-
great.
What was the plot of Lebowski? Bro just does nothing, right? That's the whole plot.
No, the plot
Forgot.
was that he gets mixed up
Yeah, with the other Lebowski.
with the other Lebowski.
And and what was the other one you mentioned now? Brothers something? Duo?
The Coen Brothers. They directed the Big Lebowski.
Ah.
Those are the directors. They also did No Country for Old Men. The fuck else they do? They had done the really weird. They have a habit of doing like weird films that are well written though and somewhat entertaining. Like most of the Coen Brother films, they have like either people hate it or people love it.
Mm.
Big Lebowski is the same thing. Like some people like it, some people don't like it.
Actually, the Blues Brothers is quite okay.
I have
Blues Brothers is great. This is the first film I watched when I was a kid. Like the
Mm.
first like film that I watched with my parents was the Blues Brothers, and it was fucking good. It's like kickstarted my love for old American cars
Mm.
because like oh man, those cars.
I have a
Cars in that
I have a question for you. Or well, you both can answer. If you had moving forward, like if you had to choose a director and a lead actor for a movie, who would those people be?
Ooh, director David Fincher,
Yes, I would have
Guaranteed.
guessed for you.
guaranteed. Lead actor. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't think I have like a favorite lead actor.
Michael Fassbender, guy's great.
Guy's great.
I
Guy's
think
fucking
if
great,
he
but-
was like in the scene a bit early, for example, like in the 90s, that guy would have been considered one of the greatest actors of all time. The dude is so good.
The dude is really good.
The
that's
number
true,
of
but I don't know
languages he
if
knows, the way he
thing is,
acts.
Like yes,
But I'm saying also Michael Fassbender because he was in one of David Fincher's films already. But like maybe
I
there's
think
someone else.
the I don't know if this is a controversial hot take, but I think that the lead actor or actress of a film doesn't really make a fucking difference.
I mean,
Like,
would
if
you,
they
would you
can
say
act-
Fight Club would be the same without Edward Norton or
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt?
It could have been if it's an actor which equally as good. Like
Mm,
the whole point of an actor
Jackie
being
Chan.
good. The whole point of an actor being good is that you don't see the actor.
yeah,
on
I
screen.
know.
Like
I know.
if I watch Fight Club, I'm not watching Edward Norton. I'm not
I know-
watching Brad
I know,
Pitt.
I know.
I'm watching the character.
I know,
I'm
know,
watching Tyler
but-
Durden. And I think any actor who is really good can pull that off.
Yeah,
Like if you watch
but-
Wolf of Wall Street, you're not watching. That's not Leonardo DiCaprio.
I know.
That is Leonardo
That-
DiCaprio.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that is
that's
literally
Jordan
Leonardo
Belfort.
to be fair, that's how he
Like
acts
he
in a lot of
pulls it
movies.
off.
So
yeah,
I,
but he pulls it off.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I know.
I don't see the actor. I see the character.
Yes, but then imagine like the character being played by someone completely different, and it's not the same character.
No, obviously it's not the same.
You have to
but the
watch
thing
it.
is,
You know?
If you take Fight Club as an example, right? If you don't have a reference as to what the movie's like with Edward Norton, if Leonardo DiCaprio had played that role,
Yeah.
would I feel any different about the film? Probably not. That's my point of like the actor doesn't make a difference if the actor can do his job.
No,
and act.
I don't
Like-
agree. I don't agree.
I don't think same. Because like even because like some people have this face that only fits this. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't put.
Yeah, sure. It's still you need to, but then
You-
again, it's a casting thing. It's not
Yeah.
a. It's not an acting thing. It's a casting thing, right? Like so, and if we're not saying with this particular questions like director and lead, we don't know what the story's like, right?
Well-
Like if you say like also the movie whatever it may be has a great casting director attached to it, then that casting director would take care of that problem.
Yes, I understand. The thing is that as well, but still, an actor is going to enhance, for example, whatever script they have been given. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
So if you choose the wrong actor for the role, or you at that point you wouldn't
My
know.
point is, we don't know what the role is.
Yes, yeah. The point is that okay, yes. Let's say, for example, Fight Club. There was Leonardo DiCaprio instead of Edward Norton. If that had to happen, you can always keep on asking ifs and buts, and we don't know if it would have been better or worse. But I think still that if it was anyone else besides those actors, it might not have turned out just as good. Like it would have been
No, it would have
good.
been different. It would have been completely different
Yeah.
because every actor brings something
Yeah.
to the character.
Right.
Right.
But what I'm saying is not just different, but maybe even just not as good.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know,
could have been.
or maybe it could have been better. I don't know, but I think as well, so a film like that, for example, benefited from how well the cast was for the characters they were playing.
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. I mean, like fucking Marla as
Yeah.
what the fuck's her name? Helena Bonham Carter. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Casting was fucking fantastic.
yeah.
But
Like imagine
my
having
point-
Scarlett Johansson.
my point
instead.
still stands. Is like favorite director and acting lead. Like acting lead, I don't think matters. I think you want to choose that based on what story you're telling, not just randomly. It's like, oh, I want to make a movie that has Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
I think
No.
sometimes they do that.
They do, and those movies generally aren't good.
Fair enough. But the question was, I kind of put the question in mind that, for example, you already have like an idea for a film, you know?
If I have an idea for
Yeah.
a film and I'd want to direct it, then I'd want to direct it.
Right,
though.
right.
Like, I'd love to see DiCaprio in a Fincher film, though.
Yeah,
That would
that
be
hasn't
interesting.
happened, right?
Hasn't happened, yeah.
That
would be interesting.
Yes, that I think would be
That
interesting.
would be interesting.
I think a good combo would be Nolan and Bale, the usual, you know.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Nolan
yeah.
Bale is like every
Yeah.
Nolan film has Bale in it,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
It's kind of like, but you
The thing
notice
is,
as
like,
well the directors pick like certain, like
Yeah.
for example, Pulp Fiction. No, Pulp
Tarantino.
Tarantino
yeah,
always
Tarantino.
picks his
because
favorites.
they work
Yeah.
well with. I mean, it's like you're if you at work, right, and you have a team of people for a project,
Mm.
and you work well with that team of people. Next time you do a project,
You're probably gonna do the same
you're
team of
gonna
people.
call the same team of people because you know
Yeah.
you work well with
Yeah.
that team of people. So it makes sense for Nolan to like have his go-tos, and for Tarantino to have his go-tos.
Imagine if Nolan directed Barbie.
I would have loved fucking Tarantino to direct Barbie. That would have been.
Who directed
So
Transformers?
much feet.
Oh,
Who directed Transformers? I keep on forgetting.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Michael
Yeah.
Bay.
Such a
Yeah.
classic.
I love
Classic.
Michael Bay, man.
Michael Bay.
Michael Boom. He should change his middle
He
name
makes
to
he
Boom.
makes some good films. Like I like the dude's the dude has like a really weird vision. Like the dude
Yeah.
has a really like unhinged
I know.
energy.
I know.
which I like.
Yes, exactly. I know you might not agree with me on this, maybe, but what I found also a really enjoyable film from Michael Bay was Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I love
agree.
Pearl
I agree.
Harbor, man.
Joe.
Man, Michael Bay
joke.
gets a bad rep because he does like he basically makes fucking 2.5-hour music videos.
Yeah.
But,
I
Like
love the
fucking
guy so much.
Transformers is shit. It's fucking garbage.
I actually,
First one is
however,
good.
you know what's funny? I haven't even watched one of them.
I've seen them, but they're not good. You're not missing much.
I love Michael Bay. I know I said I love Michael Bay, and I
I
haven't
am
watched
going to
Transformers.
transform
Has
now,
done
but-
good films. Like he had done the Red something where America gets invaded
Optimum.
by some
Yeah,
nation.
I know that.
That was a good film. That was an enjoyable film. He had done fucking Pearl Harbor was great.
Yeah.
He had done the one with I think The Rock.
Yeah.
The movie The Rock.
Yeah.
That's Michael Bay, but that's just a great film.
Yeah.
Like that was enjoyable.
Guys, I'm going to transform now. Optimum Pride.
Oh, the thing is, like, because he's got, I mean, a lot of these directors that we've mentioned have distinctiveness, but that's the thing. It's sort of like, you know, when you see a Van Gogh piece, you know it's made by Van Gogh, right?
Yeah, directors
Or
have the
if
same
someone
thing. They all have,
copied
like,
the same style, you know they're copying Van Gogh.
Yeah,
And
they-
like with Michael
yep.
Bay, he has like this sort of thing that's so distinct, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what?
But it's the same with Tarantino. Like
yeah,
there's no
yeah.
there's no director like Tarantino.
Yeah.
There's no director like Michael Bay.
Yeah.
They just
You
do
know-
different things, different styles. It's like different
Yeah.
pieces of art, but they're still enjoyable.
Like Van Gogh, there is also his brother Van Stay.
God damn.
Oh no, did that jokes.
God damn it.
Yeah. For me, I don't know, director. Maybe
Zack Snyder, man.
Ye-
That guy. At the moment, he's doing like just commercial fucking superhero stuff,
yeah.
but like
Well,
he has a really distinct visual style. Like if you
Yeah.
watch
Is
some
he-
of his earlier work,
yes.
His
Is-
cut on Superman was really good.
Yeah, but,
Justice League, his cut.
yeah.
but
he, I mean, he does his own. Now he's made like a Star Wars film, which apparently is not very good. It's a
Right.
Netflix production. But I'm talking about his earlier work. He had done
300.
He had done 300. He had done 300 Rise of an
Oh,
Empire.
what's the
Which I
name?
tell you, the
of that-
writing and the story isn't the best,
what's
but
the
like
name?
you're watching a fucking painting
Yeah.
for 2 hours, where like every frame is beautiful with like
What's the
slow
name?
motion and shit. It's really fucking nice.
What's the name of that superhero movie he did? Like superhero, quote unquote.
Watchmen. He done
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Oh
man.
my
That
God.
was fucking
Oh, yeah.
great.
I don't care what people say about that, like, but I fucking love that movie.
I love that film.
The
I
memes of
fucking
the
love
blue
that
guy.
film.
That is a really good movie that like
The thing is,
I
he
think
has a distinct visual style, right? He has the distinct style of like his slow motion and the backlight and the fucking
yeah.
It's like Michael
yeah,
Bay. Like
exactly,
Michael Bay
exactly,
does one
yeah.
thing, Zack Snyder does another thing,
Yeah.
Tarantino has another style, and
Yeah.
I don't think you can compare necessarily one to the other.
Oh, it would be really fucking cool to see like a collaborative effort on a movie between Michael Bay and Zack Snyder. I think like fucking
Yeah.
lens flare 101. You know,
Yeah.
oh my god, I think that would look fucking
But to be fair,
amazing.
J.J. Abrams is like the master of the lens flare, man. If
Right,
you watch his
yes.
Star Trek films,
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
shit is just like flare heaven.
Yeah.
That is like I think that actually the whole thing that started that was, I don't know if it started it. No, I don't think it started it, but it caused the optical flares
Mhm.
video co-pilot thing
Really?
that like is being used quite a lot, like everywhere when it comes to post-production. But I think that was created for the post-credit, what the credit sequence for one of the Star Trek films that J.J. Abrams had done. So because J.J. Abrams has or had an obsession with lens flares, we now have fucking great.
Director
Lens
is always
flare
obsessed with,
tools.
with something. Feet, lens flares. What's next?
Miners.
Go there, Roman Polanski. Not a great director though. Like he did fucking Rosemary's Baby. Like at the time when that movie came out, it was like something that had never been done before, and it was quite a fucked up film
Yeah.
for it being the 60s.
Who directed
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List?
Spielberg.
Spielberg, yeah.
Spielberg was Schindler's
Oh,
List.
that movie fucked me up,
Spielberg
man.
has a lot of range, yeah.
Yeah,
like
the
in the
dude
stuff
has
he does.
fucking he's one that doesn't have like the distinct style of the same thing that he does.
Exactly.
I mean, they have his movies though have similarities in
Mhm.
the way they're directed. and
Exactly, yeah.
the stories being told visually.
But the kind of movies,
But
are very
he's got
different.
fucking range,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, like you would not think that the guy who made Schindler's List made Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's very, very, very different. Like there's
That's
some
true.
similarities here and there in
Jurassic
direction.
Park.
Yeah,
Ah, what the fuck?
yeah.
Yeah, you know that. Like, man,
Mm.
most of the films are just like, oh yeah, the big blockbusters that you remember from when you watched either as a kid or you like most big blockbusters that were created from like the 70s to like 2010 ish.
Mm.
Most of the big ones are Spielberg
Yeah.
and James Cameron. He's done like fucking Terminator and
Yeah.
most recently
Yeah.
Avatar, which
Yeah.
was
The Terminator.
that was an enormous
Yeah.
technological leap. Like
Mhm.
the CGI in that movie, that was 2009.
Yeah. It still holds up.
Die
still
Hard.
holds,
Even after
like,
they released a new one, it
it
still
was-
holds up.
To be fair, like the story in both of those films isn't
It's
the
just
best.
Romeo and Juliet.
Actually,
No, the second one I don't know. I didn't watch it.
The second
first
one, the
one-
writing is not that great. I've watched it. I've really enjoyed it simply because it's such a visual spectacle.
Mhm.
Like if you watch that on a big screen, it is
Yeah.
great entertainment.
Yeah.
But the story is not really there.
Yeah.
But it's the same as like you watch 300 or 300 Rise of an Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that man. Snyder had done another film about like a bunch of hot chicks being in like a mental asylum.
Yes.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know, but I know about it.
Again, like it had that distinct visual style of like the lighting and the slow mo, and it was great fun.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the film was called though.
I think it was called
Fucking
Joe's basement.
Fucking like I don't know. Everything makes sense. Like for example, the whole obsession Tarantino on feet. As a kid, I watched Kill Bill as a kid. Bad decision, but still, I watched as a kid. I'm like, why the fuck am I watching 15 minutes of her talking to her feet, man? It's like if I ever like something happens and I become disabled, my feet don't work. Do I have to talk to them and they start working? I'm like 15 minutes. Like, why the fuck is she keep on talking to them? Fucking kill people, It's like do
At
your
some
katana
point-
shit,
Classic
At some
Ramone.
point, somebody told me had mentioned this foot thing with Tarantino, and then I had seen some of the Tarantino films again, and then you notice like, holy shit, it's true. There's fucking feet everywhere.
No,
Talking to feet, licking feet, eating.
The dude is a
feet.
fucking legend. Like he wrote a scene in Dusk Till Dawn. Where his character
Licking
sucks some Ark's feet.
I
What a
watched it
fucking
recently.
legend!
Such
What
a
a
good movie.
fucking legend! That
I
guy.
love the character from the Dusk Till Dawn, the guy with the sex machine. Yeah, the guy named Sex Machine. It's like the zipper comes, he like opens his like gun, just pops, and just fucking blows the vampire's head off. The Sex Machine. I love the Sex Machine, man.
Man,
Such a-
again, I would say the dialogue, man, like that scene where George Clooney's character is explaining to them not to run away because the fucking Mr. 9mm
yeah.
bullets runs faster than but the Tarantino is like the god of dialogue.
Tarantino in that movie, man, he was so fucking creepy, man. He killed like the lady. It's like in the hotel. So
Well,
fucking
he's
creepy.
weird in most of his films. Like most of his cameos, like he usually has cameos in all of his films.
Yeah.
and they're usually really weird.
That
Yes.
gives, like
What?
Anyway,
yeah.
we conclude.
I don't think anyone does dialogue as well as Tarantino does. Like I could watch just people having a conversation for 3 hours.
Yeah,
if it's written
yeah.
by Tarantino, I will be
It's
entertained.
I find that so weird because you're right. Like when it comes to the dialogue, usually his dialogue, like the way he's done in the script, is the best. But then when he comes to act in his movies, his delivery of the lines, like
No, he's not a great actor, I
Yeah.
would say, but he is a fantastic director.
yeah.
There's
No, well,
fucking
anyways,
Tarantino.
we conclude in the same way that our bodies conclude up to our feet.
What?
What the fuck are you on about?
Quentin Tarantino.
Oh
bitch.
no, bro, is restart.
Oh, bro read too many Chili's lyrics.
For real.
All right.
What the fuck is fucking structure, bro?
But yeah, we've touched on a whole bunch of movie related things. Talked about films, talked about TV, talked a little bit about Hollywood. I hope you had a fantastic time listening to this podcast, and we hope to see you again next time around.
Ciao.
See you.
If you enjoy the content, consider liking the video, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on social media. You get notified whenever we put out a new piece of content. Just check the link down below in the description for any social medias that you might want to follow. And we also have a Patreon, which allows you to give us money and see exclusive content